Welcome in today's Awake in the Spirit. Today I'll be sharing with us on the topic, Knowing Your God. In Daniel chapter 11 verse 32b, and the Bible said, those that know their God, they will be strong and they will do exploits. And I want to share with you that some of us are filled with uncertainties. Some of us are doubting when we pray and when we fast, whether God is hearing us, whether God is there with us. Even when we had some kind of dream, we are afraid and we begin to say, this business I want to do, how am I sure that it will work? We begin to doubt because we don't know whether God is there or not, whether God is hearing us or not. And that is why I want to share with you three kinds of believers or Christians that we have. And one of them is that some men believe, some people believe in some men. They believe that God lives in some kind of men, not in everybody. And when such men are manifesting God's glory, when such men are preaching, when such men are singing, they are lifted spiritually. Immediately such men stop, they are dry. This kind of people, they have stunted kind of growth. They have dwarf growth whenever they are growing to know God more, because their growth is limited in men. They believe that God lives in some kind of men alone, and that is why when they have problem, they'll begin to look for such men, because they believe that when they speak, God will hear, and when God speak, they will hear and tell them. They believe that God lives in a man. And number two are those people that believe that God is in heaven alone. And it is good to believe that God is in heaven. But if that is the only way you know God, your growth towards God is also limited. And those that believe that God is in heaven alone, unconsciously, they believe that God is far away. So when they pray prayer like a ritual. They are performing to attract the attention of God that live far away. And that is why you find out that this kind of persons, when they want to sing, they'll off lights and they'll sing. And when they finish singing, they'll on lights, because they believe that God is not seeing in the dark. They believe that God is not there with them to see them. That is why they hide and sing and come out and still play holy. This kind of people, they come to church, they are born again. But outside the church, they are something else. This kind of people, they come to church, they are decently dressed, but outside the church, they are something else, because they believe that God is only in church. God is not outside. They believe that God is in heaven. He's not seeing everything. Their growth is always stunted. But there is this number three, those that believe that God is a man. They believe that God is in heaven. They also believe that God is in me. God is in them. And this knowing that God is in you, it is not mental knowledge, it is awareness. Knowing and being aware that God lives inside of you. Because when you are aware that God lives inside of you, you will not off light and sing. And after singing in the dark, you come out and on lights. Because as you're going in the dark, you're going with God. As you're bathing in the bathroom, you are there with God. Some even receive inspiration during bathing in the bathroom. God will speak to them. God will whisper to them. In the kitchen, you are cooking, you are singing. Inspiration will drop in your head, because He is always there with you. That is knowing God by awareness. It is not just knowing that God lives in you, but being aware that in everything you're doing, in that secret life, He is there with you. He is seeing you. He is going everywhere. Is it not Bible that said that in Him we live and move and have our being? It's knowing, being aware that God is everywhere that we are. And if you have this mentality, it's not all about manifesting God's glory. Even in sin, if you have this awareness, if you have this consciousness that God is in you, with you, everywhere, every time, you will live out the virtues of God. And in 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 3 to 8, it was telling us that God has given us everything that will help us to live a true religious life. Because God has fulfilled His promise to us by giving us His Spirit in us. It's left for us to build virtue. Live a life of self-control, tolerance, love, kindness. Build virtue and live a life of virtue. Because if you have the mentality that God lives inside of you, you have to live out the life of Christ whom you have received. And this is my way of awakening your spirit in God. And I remain your sister Elochukwu Helen. God bless you.